Good evening, everyone. My name is Angus, and tonight I'm going to share a bit of my life story and what God put me through and also taken me out of. I want to greet everyone from around the world, especially Mr. Hall, the RAEL organization, the management team, and everyone that has supported me. I'm grateful that God gave me the opportunity to share with you guys tonight what happened to me and what's still busy happening with me and how grateful I am to be sober today. I'm gonna start off with as I grew up. I grew up in a beautiful Christian home, and had the perfect parents, the perfect home to grow up in, the perfect education, all of that, but nothing. I completed nothing really because of my addiction. So I started with drugs on when I was standard 6, and it was my first year in high school, and I will never forget that day that I started with it, because it was a day that I remind myself of a lot when my addiction started. And I went through school. I only passed standard 8 and got to grade 11, but then I decided that school isn't for me anymore. I have bigger things to do in life. That was my attitude, and tonight I can say that my parents did everything for me. I grew up with parents that didn't smoke, that didn't drink, that they learned me the right way, the right path every day of their lives, and gave everything to help me be a better person, be a successful person in life. But I didn't choose that. I chose another path. And I always trusted that I will change my life someday. I will be a better person. And as it went through and I left school, my life became unmanageable. At first, everything I could manage my using, my drinking, all the stuff that was fun for me at that time, I could manage. But as my life became unmanageable, I realized that now I'm in trouble. Why can't I be without the stuff for 1 day, 1 minute, 1 hour? And I never realized where I was going to. I never realized that I'm busy messing up my life slowly but surely. I came to the realization that the devil is busy with me, really busy with me. And even though I had parents that pray for me every day, and I also prayed a lot, but we only pray when things are not going our way, then we pray. But when it's good times, we don't realize that there's a God. And my drugging went on and on and on, and I started stealing, I started breaking houses in, I started breaking cars in, stuff that I never realized I would do. And it hurt me a lot. Even when I did something, I told myself, but Angus, how can you do this to yourself? How can you put your parents' name in the eyes? How can you put yourself in the eyes like this? And I had a choice. I had a choice to finish what I'm starting or to stop what I'm doing. And I I realized that what I'm busy with now is either going to put me in jail or it's going to kill me. And my life from that moment that I realized that has changed. It has changed only in that moment. that I was so heartbroken and heartsore of everything that I do, all the stuff that I stole from my parents, people that work hard for me to give me a better life. I stole everything that I can from them. I was sent to college to go finish my matric. That I messed up. I messed up by I dropped out of college. I had everything, my parents gave me everything I wanted, and still I messed everything up. And through my using, also, my brothers also, they were using drugs and there wasn't really a role model besides my parents and my mother and my father. So I looked up to them and I thought that everything that we do, that they do, is right. So they went to prison, and all of that, it didn't open my eyes that this is where you're gonna end up. I got a kick out of it. I got a kick out of being gangsters and all of that stuff, and that became my role. That became role models for me. Gangsters became role models for me. I wanted to be like them. I wanted to have a lot of money. I wanted to wear a lot of gold. I wanted to do all the bad things possible. And deep inside of me, that was never that was never my dream. That was never what I wanted to do. But still, I had the urge to do all of that bad things and wanted to do it. And I got the opportunity one day. My father said, I'm going to introduce you to someone, Angus. And I said, but yeah, you can introduce me. And he said, I'm going to introduce you to a man that can help you. And I'm very heartfelt when I say this, but my father introduced me to, it took me one day to Worcester, and he introduced me to Mr. Hall. And when I came here, I never remember that. I was here for this is my second time here at RAEL. And he introduced me to Mr. Hall, and he said, this is the man that's going to help you change your life. And I could feel that, I want to be here. I could feel the peace here. I could feel the love here. The way everyone treated me, the way, the respect that they had for me. And I said to myself, this is what I want, but do I want it now? And Mr. Hall introduced himself to me. I will never forget what he said. He said, this can work for you if you want it to work for you. And I gave it a shot, and I was, for 3 months, I was fighting against the system, and I didn't really, because I have this urge of using and the cravings and all of that. I didn't want to be here the first 3 months, but then I got the wake-up call. I ran away after 3 months, believing that I'm right, believing that I am recovered. And when I came to my home, my father immediately phoned my brother and he said, give the phone to Angus. I just want to tell him I want to have nothing to do with him for the rest of my life. I don't want to know him. I don't want to see him. And he must change his surname because he's nothing of me again. And it broke my heart. And then I got this wake-up call that said, Angus, but do this and see what can happen. See what can happen. And I did it. I came back and my life changed completely. I came back and I did my last 3 months. I was here for 6 months. My last 3 months I put everything in. I did my recovery. I did my work. I focused on God, and I told myself that this is going to happen for you, Angus. Then everything went right. I did my program. I went out. I got everything. I got the car, the money, the girlfriend, all of that. I got the key back to my parents, key back to the house. Everything went well. And what happened after that made me realize only the second time now that recovery is something that it's consist. You must be consistent in it. It never stops. You can be 6 months, 6 years, 16 years. It never stops. Recovery is an ongoing process that you must do every day. When you wake up, you must do recovery. When you go sleep with a mindset of recovery, because tomorrow is another day on its own, and we live just for today. I got a wonderful job, and in that time, I lost my job. I lost my girlfriend because I wasn't consistent in what I was doing. Because I stopped going to meetings. I stopped reading recovery. I stopped believing in God. I stopped going to church. I stopped phoning my sponsor, Mr. Hall. And I relapsed eventually. And when I relapsed, it was 10 times worse than the first time before I came in. And everything changed after the day I relapsed. I was broken. I was heartsore. I didn't want to see anyone. I didn't want to know anyone. And I forgot where I come from. I stopped respecting my parents. And I can remember what hell I put them through. I can remember what pain I put them through. The sleepless nights I put them through. And tonight I'm feeling blessed to tell you that that's what happened to me. That is what I went through. And after a few months that I relapsed, my brother was shot. And I'm gonna tell you tonight that how sick it was of me. I was heartbroken. I was still in active addiction. But I used that as an excuse to use more drugs. That was still not a wake-up call for me that, Angus, you must change your life. God put my brothers in prison, I believe, to open my eyes. Because I don't have a criminal record. I did a lot of things, but I don't have a criminal record. And I believe that it was a mirror for me to look in, but I didn't. I still chose the wrong path. And I used his death as an excuse to use more, and I didn't stop. I was heartful because why? I asked God, why do you take my brother away through gangsterism and drugs? Why do you take him away? Why didn't you take me away? Nothing happens to me. Why? What's the reason? And I will never forget that what he went through. I never saw him, but I can remember his face. I can remember the bullet through his head. I can remember where they put him. And it took me a long time to get rid of resentments towards the people that killed him. It took me a long time to realize what I put my parents through, what he put them through. And today my mother she has Alzheimer's. She's a nerve wreck. My father also is a strong man, but he's also a nerve wreck. Because they still have that worry in them that what's gonna happen to Angus? Is this the right time? Is this the time that he's gonna actually realize that he has a life? And what he's gonna do with it? What he is gonna do with it? And I phoned Mr. Hall, and he knew eventually that something isn't right with me, and I told him that, nah, I'm okay, Mr. Hall. I'm okay. But I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take it anymore when I came to the gate, and I wanted to open the gate, and my father put the lock on, and he locked it, and he said, this is not your home anymore. I want you to leave. He phoned the police, the police came in and took me away, and they put me for one night in the cells, and I cried, and I told myself, yo, my own father. So I lived on the street for a while. I lived in places that I'm not proud of. I'm not here tonight to glamorize about what I did, where I lived, and what went through in that places. But what I can tell you is that that's not a place for a normal person. A normal person isn't supposed to be in that situations. A normal life isn't supposed to go like that. And I lost everything. I got everything, and I lost it to a life that I never knew I was going to be in. Eventually, I kept on phoning Mr. Hall. I kept on phoning. And this one specific day, another sober living member here told Mr. Hall, pick up the phone. Maybe Angus is in trouble. And Mr. Hall picked up the phone, and I said, Mr. Hall, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I'm broken. I'm sick of being sick. I'm sick of this type of life. I promise you I will do my best this time. And Mr. Hall said, my boy, you can come tomorrow. If you don't come tomorrow, please don't come, because if you want this, you will come. And if you really want this can happen for you. I came back the second time. And I remember the first time I didn't actually do recovery, because my focus wasn't on recovery, it was on other things. So that is one of the main things why I relapsed. But this time when I came back, I realized that this is your last chance. This is your last chance to change your life. This is your last chance to do actually something with your life. Do something with your life. Trust in God and remember that anything is possible. I have a verse that I really like, and it's from Philippians 4 verse 13. And it says that all things is possible through Christ that gives you the strength. This few months was challenging for me. Not really, because when I came in here, I surrendered completely. I have accepted that I am a drug addict. I have accepted that I have a problem. I have accepted that my life has really become unmanageable. And I came in here and Mr. Hall said, Angus, are you ready this time? Are you ready to do this? Are you ready to change your life? We don't get enough chances. And I said that, yes, Mr. Hall, this time I want it. I want this. I want what you're gonna give me. I want a better life. I want a sober life. And I put all my strength in it. Some days when I don't feel or just be here or anything like that, anything the devil puts in my mind, and I pray. I pray and I remind myself that never forget, Angus, where you come from. Never forget the phone call you made to Mr. Hall. Never forget that God accepted you for who you are. Mr. Hall accepted me for who I am and for all the mistakes I've made. Also, Mr. Hall sponsors me here. He is my sponsor. And today I'm grateful for the management here also that helped me. Helped me every day. Helped me in a recovery way. Helped me to to know that I'm not alone. I'm not alone in recovery. We are a brotherhood here. And God put people on my path. Besides my parents, besides my brother that is, my one brother that's still alive, He put people on my path that supports me. He put people on my path that loves me. He put people on my path that I can say every day, but I don't have to go through this alone. There is people here that support me, that love me for who I am and for what I am and what I've been through. Tonight I also want to say very much thank you to Mr. Sula also. Mr. Kurt Sula, the manager of the RAEL organization in Sober City, for what he has done. I never told him, but tonight I'm going to say that one day me and him, we had a conversation here in the lounge, and we were alone here, and I told him that, Mr. Sula, that one specific song that I like is Grace to Grace from Hillsongs. And he actually explained to me what Grace to Grace really is and what it means to him. And I never knew that was one of the songs that actually saved him and made him also realize that he can't do it anymore like this. He can't live like this anymore. And I never realized that even though in active addiction, God's grace were upon us. And even now in recovery, God still has that same grace for us. He still helps us. Also to Mr. Wall, I can't say enough thank you. Thank you for what you do for me. Thank you for loving me for who I am. Thank you for putting the effort in to sponsor me again and helping me through my hard times and still doing your best. There's people that they don't really know what you do, but we as addicts here and in recovery, we see what you do. We know what you do. We feel what you do. And I love you for that. Also, a big thank you to Dr. Rihanna. Now, for everything, Dr. Rihanna, you also do, for everything that you did for me, encouraging me to become something in life. And there was a time here that I prayed and I asked God that where is my life going to now? I'm done with the program, but where is my life going to? And God answered in a way that I never knew He would. When I go to Mrs. Hall, Mr. Hall's mother, and we went to go visit her, and then I always feed her, I always wipe her mouth and stuff like that, and it didn't went unnoticed because I did it for the right reasons. I did it out of love, and knowing that my mother, one day I'm also gonna feed my mother because she also has the same illness and I must take care of her. And Dr. Rihanna just told me one day that, Angus, I want to help you. I see what you can do. I see your passion for elderly people. And I said, yes, Dr. Rihanna. She said, then I'm going to help you to become a caregiver. She sponsored me. She encouraged me, and she gave me that motherly love that said, Angus, I'm behind you. When you need anything, I will help you. I want you to do this course. I want you to become the caregiver. I want you to be something in life, to have something behind your name. And I asked myself, why is this woman, why is she doing this? Because my addict mind says, yay, how can this happen so quickly? How can this happen in a day? Not even in a day, in an hour. And a few days after that, I was in the course. I'm busy now with my course. So God took me from a drug addict and made a caregiver. I'm in my course now. I'm doing very well, and I'm proud of myself today. And also, Mr. Hall, you must be proud of what you do in people's life. Because you encourage us every day that we are not losers, that we are not nothings in life. We are something, we mean something, and we can become someone if we want to. If we want to do this. Our life is not done. Drugs didn't take everything away. There's still hope for us. And I love you, Mr. Hall, and Dr. Yana, for what you do for me. I'll never forget what you do for me. And I'll still be here to say every day, thank you. I'll still be there when I'm one day at work, done with my course and all of that. I'll still be there to say thank you. And I'll say thank you in front of the whole world. I'll say thank you to God in front of the whole world. I'll tell my story in front of everyone because today I'm not ashamed. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of being a member of this organization. I'm proud to say that I'm from RAEL. I'm proud to say that there's where I found my sobriety. I'm proud to say that I have a support structure here that I've never had in my life before except for my parents. I'm proud to say that every day when I feel sad, when I feel I need to talk to someone, there's always someone. I have a support structure here that is so strong that you can't go wrong. That is what God can do. You can't go wrong. There's two managers here that supports me. I look at them every day. It's Adrian Kamuti and Mr. Kurt Schuler. I look at them every day and I get that excitement. Yo, look at this, guys. Look at their energy. Look at they eat recovery, they sleep recovery, they love recovery. And I can say thank you to them also for being here, for being there for me. Part of line, they're on my case and they say, Angus, but right, this is the way, my brother. And that is what I need, and that is what we addicts sometimes don't like. We don't like to be told something straight. But actually, that is the thing that helps us. Hearing what we don't want to hear. So I thank you all for watching tonight. I thank you all for being there for me. I thank you all for listening. This was just a short version of what I've been through, and I thank the RAEL organization for the opportunity I have, especially tonight, to share my message with you guys, to share my story. To Mr. Hall, to Mr. Kurt Schuler, and to Adrian Kamuti, thank you very much for being there for me and standing by my side. I love you guys a lot, and I hope you have a great evening and a wonderful evening. Thank you.